Let's talk about Tibet. You know, it's a place where things just don't seem to add up. You've got lakes that are growing, while the ones right next to them are shrinking. Mountains that look like they were carved by a giant with a protractor. And entire thriving kingdoms that one day just vanished, leaving everything behind. For thousands of years, these mysteries have really pushed the limits of what we think we know about history, about reality itself.
This quote, it absolutely nails it. And what we're going to dive into really boils down to three huge mysteries. First, a landscape that just seems to defy all the rules of geology. Second, whole civilizations that were here one day and gone the next. And third, a kind of knowledge that seems to operate outside of time itself.
But first, let's just set the stage here. We're talking about one of the most extreme places on planet Earth. Seriously. You're at an altitude where there's a third less oxygen in every breath you take. Temperatures can just plummet to -40. And yet, this is the place where one of the most fascinating and mysterious cultures in human history decided to build a civilization.
Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to start with the land itself, because in Tibet, even the dirt under your feet, the lakes, and the mountains hold these deep puzzles that make you scratch your head. And there's no better place to start than with the heavenly lake, Namso.
So here's the puzzle with Lake Namso. On the one hand, you've got a pretty simple scientific explanation. Climate change is melting the glaciers, and the water is flowing into the lake. Makes sense, right? But that explanation starts to fall apart when you look just next door. In the very same region experiencing the very same climate, other lakes are actually shrinking. So why is Namso growing so fast that it's literally swallowing ancient monasteries that have been there for centuries? The easy answer just doesn't fit the facts.
So while scientists are trying to work out a theory that covers all the bases, the local tradition has a very different take. For them, the lake isn't just a body of water. It has a kind of consciousness. They say it's alive, that it breathes, and that its cycles, its expansion and contraction, are tied to something much, much deeper than just melting ice.
And this idea of geography that doesn't play by the rules, well, it gets even stranger with Mount Kailash. This mountain is sacred to 4 different religions. And, well, just look at it. It's an almost perfect 4-sided pyramid. Its faces are aligned almost exactly to north, south, east, and west. Now, geologists will tell you that nature, erosion, wind, ice, it creates jagged, uneven, asymmetrical shapes. It doesn't usually make perfect pyramids.
Which leads to the big question, right? Is this just a 1 in a billion geological fluke, or is there something else going on here? Some researchers, and this is controversial, have even pointed out that its features look less like a natural mountain and more like a massive, man-made structure that's been eroded over time. It's a wild idea, I know, but it's hard to just dismiss it when you see how precise it is. So the sense of precision of things that just don't seem natural isn't just in the landscape. It's also found in the history of its people, or more accurately, the people who aren't there anymore. We're moving from mysterious places to the literal ghosts of entire kingdoms. For 700 years, the Guj Kingdom was the shining beacon of civilization. It was a major hub for art, for religion, for trade, connecting India and China. Its capital city was home to tens of thousands of people. And then, in the 17th century, poof, gone. And this is what's so bizarre about it. When explorers found the abandoned capital in the 20th century, it was like a time capsule. The granaries were still full of grain, clothes were left in homes, the beautiful murals on the walls were completely untouched. The official theory is usually some kind of invasion, but it doesn't really add up. There are no signs of a big, final destructive battle. And even if there was a war, why would nobody ever come back? It's as if every single person in the city just got up one afternoon and walked away, never to return.
And if you think that's strange, let's go back even further to the Zhangjiang Kingdom. For a long, long time, historians basically wrote them off as just some primitive, isolated tribe living up in the mountains. But recent archaeology has completely flipped that script. They found ancient Chinese silk from the Han Dynasty in Zhangjiang tombs. This proves they weren't isolated at all. They were a major power, a key player on the ancient Silk Road connecting east and west. So this isn't just some local tribe that disappeared. We're talking about an international trading power that vanished so completely that for centuries we barely even knew they existed. How on earth does that happen?
The disappearance of these advanced cultures just makes you wonder, what did they know? And this brings us to what might be the most mind-bending Tibetan mystery of all, the idea of knowledge that isn't learned, but found, revealed.
So, let's talk about this incredible idea called terma. The tradition says that way back in the 8th century, a great master named Padmasambhava hid profound teachings for future generations. Think of them like spiritual time capsules. But he didn't just bury scrolls. He hid them in caves, in rocks, and even, get this, in the minds of his future disciples. And these aren't just philosophical texts. Some of them contain things like incredibly detailed descriptions of the human nervous system that match modern anatomy.
And how they're discovered is just as wild. Some are physically dug up, found in a sealed chamber in a monastery. But the other way is, wow, an enlightened master, deep in meditation, will suddenly have a complete, perfect text appear in their mind, supposedly a memory from a past life.
And this idea of hidden knowledge isn't just about finding scrolls. They literally built this concept into their architecture. You can see it perfectly in Tibet's very first Buddhist monastery, Samye.
So, from the ground, Samye is this massive, impressive complex of temples. Beautiful. But it's when you see it from above that it reveals its secret. The entire monastery is a perfect three-dimensional map of the cosmos, a mandala. The main temple in the center, that's the mythical Mount Meru, the axis of the universe. The temples around it represent the continents, all surrounded by a wall symbolizing the edge of everything.
Which, of course, leads to the mind-boggling question, how do they do that? In the 8th century, with no satellites, no drones, no way to get a bird's-eye view, how do you design and build a massive architectural complex whose true geometric perfection is only visible from the sky? It hints at a level of planning and knowledge that just shouldn't have been possible. And you have to wonder, could this be a piece of that lost knowledge from cultures like Guzhijun?
Okay, so let's just step back for a second. We've got a lake that seems to have a mind of its own, a mountain that looks engineered, entire kingdoms that just vanished into thin air, and this concept of knowledge hidden in stone and mind. What does this all tell us when we put the pieces together?
Well, it suggests that Tibet is way more than just a place on a map. It's this powerful, powerful reminder
That our tidy little map of reality, our understanding of history and what's possible, it might be seriously incomplete. What we think we know could just be one tiny chapter in a much, much bigger book. And it suggests that maybe the greatest adventures left for us aren't about exploring distant planets, but about exploring the blank spaces right here on our own map, in our own forgotten past. And that really leaves you with one big final thought, doesn't it? What if the story of who we are is far stranger and more grand than anything we've ever been told? And what else is out there, waiting in the high mountains and hidden valleys of the world, ready to completely change everything we think we know?